But two things that cure fear is math and action. How does it even make sense? It's like not even a 1% cap rate. What are you guys doing? You're stuck in a waiting place, and it's the most dangerous place. Going outside the comfort zone, you're going into unknown territory. I'm very passionate about meditation, and a big portion of meditation is you going into the quantum field. And the quantum field is basically a bunch of unknown. You have to learn how to surrender into the unknown and trust the unknown. Trust that the universe have your best interest in mind. But the reason people never take that step and never go towards the unknown land is because of fear. The fear of the unknown. But I would like to challenge that there's risk in both. Whether you stay or you go, you're risking. When you go, you're risking the unknown. But when you stay, you're risking living a life of regret. I think Walt Whitman said, you're risking a life of quiet desperation. Always wondering what could have happened. Have I had the courage to go forward in the direction of my dreams? There's a couple of ways to overcome the fear. The best way to overcome it is through math. Do some calculations behind it. Math cures fear. Another thing, a way to overcome fear is through action. Again, just get in action, get moving. You cannot steer a parked car. Park in the parking lot, it's very hard to steer it. The car has to be in motion. So get in action, get in motion, and then you're gonna adjust and you're gonna turn left, you're gonna turn right, you're gonna adjust your path, and you're eventually gonna figure it out. But two things that cure fear is math and action. The way math cures fear is you do calculate risks. What's the downside? It's like, right now we are looking to buy a big vacant property, buying it for $15 million. It's an empty shopping center, but it's in a very, very prime location. Taking a big bet on this property. It's a well-known property in Raleigh, and it's fearful. So do I really need this? Like, we have a comfortable lifestyle. Like, at the stage of our life where I'm getting close to being post-economic, where things I do are not related to economic interests. So do I really need to take this risky project right now? Because if something goes wrong, it could set me back, and I don't really want to go back. I've had setbacks already a couple of times in my life, and now I have a family and young kids. I don't want to have to go through another setback, and that raises fears. And then when you sit down and you sharpen the pencil and you do some math and calculations, and you realize that you have a calculated risk on your downside, and you realize the probability of that happening is very low, but the upside is very high, and worst thing that's going to happen is that you make 2x instead of 10x. That's your downside. That math gives you comfort level to cure your fears, and you have the courage to move forward. People from outside who haven't done the math calculations look at me and look at us at my company and says, like, you guys have some balls. You guys are crazy. Why would you take such a big risk right now in unstable economy, unstable politics? It's like, this is not the right time to do it. And it's like, well, we know what we were doing. We did our calculations. And it happened many, many times in projects. I bought the property, I remember, on the corner of Glenwood and Peace in downtown Raleigh. It was a small 1,500 square feet building on a third of an acre lot. The tenant was like an inspection station paying $3,500 gross rent a month, and we pay like $1.6 million for it. So anybody who does the math on it realizes that the net income after taxes and insurance on the property is like $1,000 a month. How does it even make sense? It's like not even a 1% cap rate. What are you guys doing? Like, you're stupid, like, right? You're getting emotionally attached to a location, and it makes zero economic sense. The fact of the matter is, we knew the area, we did calculated risk, we knew that the highest and best use for the property would be to do a hospitality venue, and we knew what other businesses on the strip were doing as far as sales, and we knew if we tied our rent not per square foot basis, but tied to a percentage of revenue of what potential beer garden or restaurant could do in sales at that location, we knew that actually we're going to have a home run. And if they do $6 million in sales and we tied our rent to percentage rent of 8%, we can have $40,000 a month rental income instead of $3,500 a month. And that's exactly what happened. And now the property is quadrupled in value from what we paid for it. And people think like, oh, that was such a great deal. It says, yeah, but you were the same person who told me 4 years ago you were such an idiot by overpaying for this property. So I can give you hundreds of examples like this when it was fearful it looked like we were overpaying at the time, but we did the math, we did the calculations, projections into the future, and realized that there's nothing to be scared about here, that we're gonna be okay. There is a kid's author called Dr. Seuss. And he has this poem called The Waiting Place, for people just waiting. For the waiting for the bus to come, or for the train to go, or for the rain to come, or for waiting for a Friday, or for the next break, or for vacation. Everybody just for the next paycheck. Everybody just waiting. And he describes this place as the most dangerous place the most dangerous place you can find yourself in. Nothing gets done in the waiting place. It's for people just waiting. The waiting paralyzes action. It's for people frozen, like you, in this comatose frozen zone, and you cannot make a decision. Do I go left? Do I go right? You're just frozen. Then I see people all around. A huge majority of population are living in the waiting place. I'm gonna open my own business, but I'm waiting until I get the raise or a bonus, or I'm gonna go on my dream vacation, but I'm waiting for the school to end. And people constantly waiting for things. But Dr. Seuss says it's the most dangerous place to be in, and I agree with him. Because nothing gets done and it just paralyzes you into inaction. To break out of it, you have to make an action. I don't care if you go left or right, but make a decision which way to go. And then you can adjust your course, but you cannot be standing still in one place. You got to be in motion, or you have to make a decision. Even if the decision is, I'm not going to pursue this dream of mine right now because I need to do something else, but make the decision deliberately. You're going to postpone your Ironman until next year. You're not going to do it this year because you're doing something else this year. The problem becomes is when you cannot make that decision. You're stuck in a waiting place, and it's the most dangerous place to be in.